You know, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if Paradox decides to announce some huge overhaul to the Timurids in like the next week or so. It kind of seems to be the direction we're moving in these days. But until that happens, we have the newly released Europa Expanded Mission Tree for the Timurids, formerly known as the Missions Expanded part of the Expanded mod set. Missions Expanded is mainly about adding a bunch of mission trees for countries that deserve them, and recently they just did an update for Anatolia, the Middle East, North Africa, and Persia. Previously I made videos for the Ainu missions as well as Yemen, but today we'll be playing the Timurids, probably the most interesting mission tree that I've seen in a while. We don't quite get to see the missions just yet. I have to unpause the game or else, you know, they just won't appear. Anyway, the Timurids start is not that different from usual. We still have some rebellious vassals. Shah Rukh needs to live for at least a little while, but we do start off with these two special privileges for the emirs, giving them quite a lot of influence and not a lot of loyalty. You know, something about disloyal princes might be affecting that, so we really don't have too many opportunities to seize land without having to fight people. Either way, I'm still going to do it, but you know, it will be a little bit more annoying. Either way, it's probably important to pick up strong duchies. Usually I would take supremacy over the crown as well, but you know, that might be a bit of a problem these days. As for the other states, we're going with a fairly regular rollout here. I see these over here, that's pretty interesting. Doesn't look like it's for us though, damn. Alright, for that taxation policy, I could go with the lenient taxation. Lower liberty desire is probably what I'm supposed to do. Once Shah Rukh dies, we're gonna have a slight problem. Although I really would like 530 ducats, that's really nice. You know what, how about I take this one? Extra manpower so I can expand the army, I might need that. Alright, we should be ready to unpause and we should get our new missions in one day. If for whatever reason we decided to go with the Paradox missions, that would kind of ruin everything, so let's not do that. Alright, new missions. It doesn't seem like much, but this is really just the beginning. Hopefully I can get through all of this today, and then, if time permits, I can show off some of the interesting paths. Now, as long as Shah Rukh lives, we're gonna be okay, but of course this guy's like 67. He's not looking so hot these days. Oh boy, alright. This seems like a pretty important thing to look at. We have to decide who's going to be the new heir. This option will make us lose our title as Timurid Emperor, maybe not a good idea. The royal court will dislike this option, and the final option is that we simply decide no one's the successor. And then this event over here kind of demands our cores back from a jam, or we have to go to war with them, which is also maybe not a good idea. I'm gonna quickly consult the information I've been given. Alright, it looks like there is a total of 0 information on this. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna go with the top option. There's a risk of a puppet emperor, but maybe we can avoid that, I have no idea. As for this, we have the opportunity to declare war on a jam. We can probably win. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard, especially with my vassals. But there's also the possibility that they'll just hand stuff back to me, maybe. I mean, we do have quite a few cores. I think I would prefer to just go ahead and fight them. Before we do that, we have this other event to take care of. It involves this new mechanic specifically for the Timurids called Timurid Legitimacy. Whoever has the most legitimacy can probably claim the legacy. Anyway, we can decide to pick up a general with 30 tradition and lose 20 legitimacy, or we can decide to gain 10. I think it's probably a good idea to try and get to 100 before we subtract anything, just in case. Alright, looks like it's time for us to reclaim our cores. We definitely have more men to fight with. Hopefully my vassals will be nice enough to help me, and hopefully Shah Rukh doesn't die in like the next 2 months. How did this even happen in the first place? How did you get all these cores? Oh no. That's a kind of a problem. A really big problem. Many of the princes are not happy with the decision and are already planning on deposing him. That's kind of bad. We could have gone ahead and made the Regency Council, but I don't know, I think it's fine this way. It seems we're already working on this mission here. Not long ago, the governor of Persia decided to rebel against Shah Rukh. There you go, that answers my question. His rebellion still stands and he poses a threat to our rule. We must stampede him with all of our forces if we are to stand a chance in the coming storm. Right, well, this is probably the best way we could have done this. Increased siege ability and decreased province war score cost for the entire war. That might even allow us to get all of our cores back, and boy do we have a lot of those. So if we pop this real quick, yeah, there you go, we can get all of our cores back, not bad. The first choice in the event probably turned them into a vassal, which of course would be a problem right about now. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the subjects really like me all too much, I wonder why that is. In theory, if I can just reconquer all of my lands, then we should be strong enough to bring in the vassals, but boy is it not looking very good. And on top of all of that, we have a disaster unique to ourselves. We have about 4 years to try and stop the decline of the Timurid Empire. This is fun. This is great. There are no problems here at all. Well, we have a new heir, 134, not great by any standards, but better than his father at least. With the capital taken over, I imagine we can go and maybe clean up a stack or two. Maybe we'll deal with Nogai first. What? How did they siege Combe that quickly? What? Was that a 7%? Are you kidding me right now? I left for 3 months and they sieged it back. I really don't even know what to say to that. The Mamluks have denounced me. What is this? What even is this? I don't need this right now. Bruh. I don't want to have to go and re-siege Combe for like the 3rd time, so let's try and make this quick. Quick carpet siege should do the trick. Ooh, and a free stability. Yes, please. I don't really have the admin to spend on an expensive stab like that. Alright, that's gonna be war reps, full money. I imagine you're probably not going to be allied to a jam because, you know, they won't exist anymore. But if I get a little bit more war score, I think I can get you to break your rivalry, which will be a little bit more prestige. There you go. I think that works out for me. Please, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep sieging Combe. It's really annoying. Okay, one last time. This is it. I'm not sieging it anymore. I'm afraid I might end up in that decline of the Timurid Empire. Don't think that's very easily avoidable. I think if you're lucky enough, it can be avoidable, but Shahrukh dying that early is probably a pretty big issue. I imagine he was supposed to last longer. Yeah, that seemed all but inevitable. Alright, what does Afghanistan want? They want a couple of provinces. That's actually a lot of provinces. A couple too many provinces. Yeah, no thanks. I will fight my subjects if I have to. I mean, I really don't want to, but if I have to, I will. Right, this is the 3rd path. We could decide to bring ourselves over to India, to abandon Persia, and then do true heir of Timur, essentially. But I don't really want to go down that path, at least not today. So we're gonna stay in Persia. This siege done, we should be able to finish the war fairly soon. Okay, of course I boost up the stability and the game decides, yeah, no you didn't. The military tech should be, well, pretty much just what we need. We're tech 4 so we can gain ourselves morale of armies and decreased army tradition decay. And the new emperor dies too. Wow. What a string of events. It does make me wonder if maybe I should try again, see if I get a little bit luckier with Shahrukh. Alright, if they take this 21% that they stole from some rebels, then yeah, I think I'm just gonna try again. Yep. Alright.
The next day.
Alright, take 2. I'll do pretty much the same stuff as before because I think that was a pretty decent idea. And hopefully Shahrukh lives a little bit longer this time. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll try and go for the Regency. See if that does anything nice. We have to specifically hire Mahmud Haydar, which is this level 2 guy. Kind of expensive, but maybe it's worth it. I don't know when Shahrukh might die, so just in case I'm going to exploit this dev to make sure I can hire him. Now with Shahrukh near his death, his wife has proposed us a solution. Let the court, with her in charge, manage his realm whilst he lives as a puppet emperor, keeping the realm alive. Such plans are risky, but it can completely stabilize our realm. Wow, we could actually try to make him live for longer. That might be a good idea. Or we can empower the Regency Council, which kind of creates a slight problem in the future. Giving them too much power might be a bad idea. So you know what? I think we're gonna try and make him live longer. That's a great idea. Okay, maybe that was the true way you were supposed to do things. Now, of course, we can't actually afford to hire this guy, so we're gonna have to fire him soon. Yes, thank you, Mamluks, for denouncing me again. That's great. Anyway, we could decide to keep our current heir. I didn't even realize this would be the same guy as our current successor, but you know, he kind of sucks. We could take this guy, if I don't mind losing the title of Timurid Emperor, which I kind of do. Or, you know what, we could try with this guy. He's a little bit better than the current candidate. Might upset the royal court, but at least they don't have too much influence. And it's time to fight a gem again. Alright, let's do it. I've learned my lesson this time. We're gonna go directly up to Nogai and deal with them first. Oh, come on. Did he die even earlier than before? Even with the plus 50%? I don't even know. Maybe there's just no avoiding this. Am I just unlucky? Maybe. Alright, at least I'll take that free stability, thank you. And another free stability, nice. Available due to being between minus 25 and plus 25 piety. That's pretty good. Alright, well, that'll just about do it for Nogai. Alright, now on to the capital. The Jam's busy sieging down my rebellious subjects subjects anyway, so we should be able to siege these much easier than before, in theory. That's one siege, and the other. Very nice. We should be able to get there on time to reinforce, and that should be GG. It does make me kind of wonder, what am I missing from this war score? Is it really just these occupations? Damn, that kind of sucks. Man, I really didn't expect this to be this difficult. Maybe you're not intended to get the 100% reconquest. Well, let's see, I do need to get roughly 22 provinces in Persia, so that might actually line up pretty closely with what I plan to take. Wait, this is only an extra 16. A full annex is only 16 more points. Yeah. Alright, well, let's finish this off. That gives us an extra 2, maybe 3 months. So let's hope for some good rolls. There we go, that's one good roll. And the last one we need. Perfect. Now that's the peace deal I was trying to get the first time. That does, oddly enough, create a new vassal for us, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. Although, who knows, they're not very happy with us. That might actually create a slight problem for this mission, but we'll see. Now we can complete the mission, a Persian Empire. We may have come from the Turkic steppes, but time has made us into a Persian nation. We must further integrate the Persian element to our empire to secure legitimacy. This will give us a level 2 theologian, I don't know how that's pronounced. Half cost, which we probably can't afford, so let's just not worry about that. But more importantly, it finishes this mission for us, the succession crisis. With the death of Shoutout, the realm is now in chaos. Every man is now taking sides in the upcoming storm. We must stop them before it's too late. This will allow us to revoke privileges regardless of the loyalty and influence, and it's also going to reduce all estates' influence, which is perfect for us, because that means we can revoke disloyal princes, maybe? If all of our subjects are less than 50% liberty desire, then yes, we can. Anyway, in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and give everyone supremacy over the crown, which will make the estates much happier. Alright, so now we're gonna have to create a whole bunch of states here, get a bunch of free money and manpower. We also desperately need to improve relations with all of our subjects, become stronger, and increase our diplo rep if we can. Since the autonomy is already all the way down to 0, we're immediately getting manpower and money from these provinces. We've been given an extra year to try and get any of these other missions completed. It's going to be a little bit difficult since we can't exactly complete this one, and I don't think we can really complete this one either. We'll have to try to figure something else out. If we can get the subjects to below 50% liberty desire, then that might be what saves us in the end. It'll give us double the time we have right now. And wouldn't you know it, yeah, Ardalan is the one that became the problem. What am I going to do with you? Well, we have some money. I guess I could try to give them a gift or something. Or I could placate them. That's not that bad of an idea. Alright, that'll give us an extra year at least. And on that note, I could probably placate a few more subjects as well. At least 3. So let's try with Transoxiana twice. We'll go with Sistan once. Then we can try to royal marry all of our subjects. That is a slight problem for our legitimacy, but I think it's important for now. See, if we get 25 of each monarch point per vassal we have, that's going to help us significantly towards recovering that legitimacy, so it's probably worth it. There is, of course, the other possibility, which is just deving them a little bit. Alright, perfect. The rebellious vassals, finally. Many governors of the empire are slowly starting to find their own independent realms, ignoring our rule. We must put an end to their treachery. Okay, that's 200 military power we can use to boost our legitimacy. I might have made a few too many royal marriages because right now I could have solved that, but I think we still have enough time to fix that, so I'm not too worried. We have about 19 months before the disaster starts, which means we can make 190 military power between now and the disaster, so we should be just barely able to survive this. I really don't see any other way we could fix this, unless of course we get a random event. Just to pad a couple extra points onto that, I think I'm going to upgrade this guy to level 2. I know we should be fine, but just to be absolutely certain. And would you look at that, 98%. Oh boy. Well, let's strengthen that legitimacy and finish this off. That'll give us an extra 20 months. And of course, that's going to increase the Emir's loyalty to just where we need it. And we're going to have to wait a little while, but we need to hire another 2 generals, I think. Maybe just 1, not sure. Alright, let's hire the first general. That might be enough. Yeah, what do you know? Alright, nice. Our military has always had mixed loyalties. Some of them support us, but the majority of them are willing to backstab us. Let's secure the military for ourselves. That'll give us military loyalty privilege, general with 80 tradition, that's pretty good. It's going to reduce the disaster and going to revoke the influential military, which was pretty bad. That was 30 influence for, well, pretty much no benefits except for the leader cost, which is good, but not worth 30% influence. That finishes off this mission. By reshuffling our current generals, we can benefit even greater from our army. These new ones will be more loyal towards us and will not cause internal problems. Before we click this though, we're going to go ahead and finish off internal peace, which will unlock the reign in the vassals interaction, give us 15 prestige, and we can now revoke disloyal princes. Revoking the disloyal princes is pretty important because this is one of the main problems with us. It had a combined 35 difference between the loyalty and the influence, which was pretty bad. So now finishing that off is actually more important for this mission because the number of privileges the emirs have affects the outcome of this mission. So instead of gaining, well, pretty much nothing, instead we're going to gain 50 mil power. Not bad. And then of course there's this mission. Doesn't give us that much, but income from vassals and force limit contribution isn't terrible. It looks like the 80 army tradition general is possibly the worst general you can get for 80 traditions, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, it's time for us to start reining in some of our subjects. We've avoided the problem. The disaster can no longer fire, and now it's time for us to try and bring this shattered empire together. Let's start with what seems to be the easiest subject, probably Fars, to try and bring in. Besides, they have parts of Persia that we need. So let's go ahead and placate them a little bit. And, oh, okay, we actually need prestige for that. That's really awkward. Yeah, just ignore that real quick. Okay, there we go. Now let's rein them in. They lose 10% liberty desire for 10 prestige. What does that even do? Okay, well, apparently we just have to rein in some subjects. Alright, let's do it. Not sure what that really did, to be honest, but okay. I could lose a lot of money to try and take some crown land back. That might actually not be a terrible decision, but I also need that prestige. It's kind of tough. It seems like it's just 5, which isn't that great, so yeah, I'll just do this. Oh, wait a second, I kind of forgot. I can just annex my subjects for free. Of course, I have cores on all of them, duh. Yeah, that was kind of stupid of me. Whoops. Let's see if we can annex everyone all at once. Or at least the ones I have cores on. So that'll be you, and you, and you. I have a feeling Afghanistan's not going to like this very much, but that's okay. Beautiful. Alright, let's make some free states. Yeah, Afghanistan's not a huge fan of that whole thing. That's okay. I wonder if there's a different outcome for reining in the subjects compared to just outright annexing them. Maybe I missed out on a really good vassal swarm path, who knows? Oh, of course, alright. Do I take a chance with this new heir? He's not that great. If he dies, oh well. Huh. Somehow we got someone worse. Right. Well, anyway, I can also make my subjects like me more by forcing them to divert trade. It's a little bit, unconventional, but it works. Because then I can just spend a little bit of money and try to get them to like me. Anyway, now that I can annex all of my subjects, I'm going to at least try. This is still going to take 3 years regardless, mainly because I didn't turn on the nobility integration policy. I guess I could do that now, but it wouldn't really do much. I still have the Diplo rep penalty either way. Unless maybe it gets rid of it. Maybe it will get rid of it. Let's try it. Okay, let's go ahead and annex the rest of the subjects. Rest in peace the Emperor, man. At least the consort's good. Might try and keep the consort around for a while. Wait, this finishes it? Oh, okay. I thought I had to actually integrate like all of my subjects. After all, the condition does say if you have no subjects, so I don't know. Weird. Anyway, after many challenges, we have prevailed. We stand triumphant over our enemies in the bloody Timurid succession crisis. It's time to decide what will become of our empire. Now, there are not 3, but 4 actual paths for the Timurids, which is why you should go ahead and download the mod yourself. But we're faced with 3 different options here. I actually don't know what the 4th one is. Maybe I'll ask the mod creator afterwards, but for now we get to decide, are we going to become a horde again, or are we going to become a modern empire allowing us to create more of these sort of semi-Timurid subjects, or we could decide a new route, which is to become the Mughals. Now, I know it says down there if we conquer all of India before 1550, we gain access to imperialism. In reality, you get to use imperialism 5 times, and then after that you lose it until eventually you get the actual imperialism CB. It's a little bit misleading, but yeah, the game does kind of want to push you towards doing True Heir of Timur, which I have done before previously as Transoxiana, and I really don't feel like doing again. So I think by far the most interesting one is the Horde path. And would you look at all of that? This is one of the mission trees for the new Timurids in this mod pack. And although this might be a little bit of a shorter video today, I feel like exploring this mission tree deserves its own video itself. I don't think we can meaningfully get into this today. So if you really want to check out the rest of this path with me, I'll put up a part 2 if this video gets around 2,500 likes. Of course, download the mod yourself if you want to try it out before you see the video. Or maybe you can try to find that extra hidden fourth path. But for now, this is Corbett signing off, hoping you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget we're actually pretty close to 50,000 subscribers, for which I'll be doing the Roman Empire speed forming. Anyway, I'll catch you later, and as always, have a fantastic day. Big thanks to the patrons this month. In particular, we have Yeo, Gabriel McCoy, Ben Greenhagen, Quiet Guy, Torvalved, Robert Caleno, Ambient Cyan, James Levy, Chewy Shoot, and The Watcher. All patrons get access to videos earlier than normal, and the link is in the description. If you're looking for anything else to watch, I'd recommend these videos up on screen.